You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. This is the show where we get you all the latest updates, news that will hit your personal finances and, of course, guide you through these tumultuous times. This is, of course, The Money Show, and I'm Mubina Kapasi. And today what we are going to be discussing is specifically meant for all of our retirees or those individuals who are on the verge of retirement. All your life, you've been saving up your money, perhaps parking it in mutual funds, in equity markets, in the hope that, yes, this will be your retirement kitty and you will get to enjoy the fruits of that once you retire. However, if you're due to retire in the next couple of months, then your retirement kitty will definitely not be looking all that great because of the way mutual fund values have fallen. So that's what we'll be discussing today, all about retirement. Also on the show, we will be talking about insurance, a very interesting insurance product from Edelweiss, which is basically a pay-as-you-use insurance. We will get you a gist of more of that, and I guess it's very relevant given the fact that most of us are using our cars to the bare minimum just for the emergencies and procurement of the essentials. So I guess this policy as well comes in at a very relevant time. But without any further ado, let me introduce then Dr. Aman Chugh, financial advisor and consultant. He joins us today on the show. Dr. Chugh, thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now. We know Dr. Chugh is often called as the father of financial planning and portfolio planning. So Dr. Chugh, let's start off first with this entire dilemma that a lot of our viewers will be facing, especially those who are on the anvil of retirement. They may be having 1 year, they may be having as little as just a couple of months to retire, and they were probably depending on sort of, breaking the retirement piggy bank that they had been sort of saving and investing in for so many years, right? For the better part of their youth. In such a situation, what sort of advice would you like to give them?
So first of all, namaskar and Jai Hind. Well, we can have different sets of audience, particularly speaking about on retirement side. So if we speak about those set of audience who have already retired, say, for example, if they are above 60 years of age, I don't think they would be willing to take much of risk in the present market as of now, and they would be wanting to have a more secured lifetime ahead. So they have got a couple of options, particularly to plan their further down the line, their retirement years. One of the option, but of course, we all know that they can park their money into RBI bonds, which gives you around 7.75%. Only point is the liquidity is at stake for the next 7 years or so. They can also invest in the government securities as well. And government securities is particularly available over the counter and even on exchange as well. So you need to be maybe opening up an account with Axis or maybe IDBI, etc., and to have the access to the government security. They're fully liquid, in fact, as well. They can also have an access to perpetual bonds, but for perpetual bonds, it is majorly over the counter market. So, but you get a good yield. So particularly in this type of a scenario, you get a yield of around 8% odd. In fact, around 1 to 2 months back, it was around 9% for, I'm talking about SBI or even HDFC Bank. And they are all pretty deemed to be secured as well. Then we have another few options, such as some of the plans of LIC, particularly one of the options of LIC, which I like about is particularly Jeevan Shanti, which is one of the guaranteed plan, government guaranteed plan as well. But of course, we have got the Vaya Vandana Yojana, which is always the favorite amongst the retirees as well. So I think there are a couple of options available for retired people, particularly if they want to get into the low risk side of a domain. If they want to get into maybe a higher risk side of a domain, they can have access to maybe equities or maybe mutual funds as well. But they need to study well before they get into these equities and mutual fund to plan their further retirement years. I would rather recommend them to be having a blend of insurance cover and retirement plan as well. As I mentioned about Jeevan Shanti is one of the plans which I would say particularly for LIC. And otherwise, if they don't want to take the risk cover, I think government securities and the perpetual bonds and the RBI bonds are also a mix, which can be taken through.
Right. So then, Aman, if let's say, an individual is retiring in the next 1 odd year and the markets are where they are at, usually we say that when you are approaching retirement, you should slowly start moving out of equities and going into debt. So you buy a debt mutual fund, move a little in short-term funds, so on and so forth. But basically something that's a little less risky or a little less volatile. Would you recommend that they start off the process regardless of, what the market is doing right now?
See, first of all, I would rather put it this way, that many people, they have a misconception that debt funds are safe or secured. So debt funds are not safe, are not secured, or even the ultra short duration funds, etc. We saw already what happened with Franklin Templeton and even other debt funds as well in the market. They have not performed well enough as compared to how much of interest rates have fallen by. In fact, let me put it this way. A lot many people, they believe that when the interest rates fall, the bonds perform. No. If the interest rates fall, the yield also need to fall so that the bonds perform. However, because of the rating pressure being imposed on government of India, particularly the Indian credit rating, as I mentioned in the last time as well, this particularly means that the yields are not falling down as much as the government would want. And while the interest rates have been falling, the yields are not falling. Since the yields are not falling, so most of the bond funds or most of the debt funds or most of the hybrid funds, they have not been performing. Second important point is that because of the liquidity issue at the grassroots level, I'm not saying at the top level. So liquidity is not an issue at the top level. A lot of plenty of money has been available with the banking and the other system pumped by RBI, but it is not going through enough into the lower side of the NBFCs or particularly real estate developers or particularly power distribution companies. Why I'm naming these three? Because lot many debt funds or hybrid funds or credit risk funds particularly have an exposure on these three main domains. One is power distribution companies, one is NBFCs, and one is real estate and infra developers. So I think a person who is getting to be retired in the next 1 year or 2 years down the line, it is more feasible for him to be understanding the market first rather than only concluding that debt funds are fine, hybrid funds are fine. No, they have not been. Like, for example, a lot many hybrid funds for the last 5 years have not given a return more than 5%. And I'm talking about some biggies as well. So that means funds, hybrid funds, debt funds do not perform based on the interest rates coming down. So you need to have a corpus of the funds. And as I mentioned, a person who is yet to be retiring, maybe he can take another some sort of guaranteed plan of maybe LIC or even park some sort of funds into direct government security or even perpetual bonds as well. So I think that will be more meaningful for him rather than getting into caught with various debt funds altogether.
All right. Okay. One interesting product that has been extended by the government is the Prime Minister Vaya Vandana Yojana. Now, it's the Prime Minister's Yojana, so that means there is a government guarantee of sorts, which makes it quite a safe product, or let's say at least the credit risk is eliminated from this product. It is meant only for people above 60, so you could say those on the verge of retirement or who have already retired. What's your take, Dr. Chugh, on this PM Vaya Vandana Yojana, now that it has been extended? Do you believe it's a good product for those people who are, above 60?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier as well, this is one of the safe most product as well, which I would recommend for any person who is above 60 years of age, because that is what a person can invest. In fact, going by the global volatility and I think maybe there would be a more of reverse of a globalization. So maybe we'll have more of protectionism and less of globalization in the coming years to come by. And because of the global volatility, as we can see across globe and some parts of the developed nations going into the recessionary territory and maybe India also facing a bit of slowdown, etc., could mean that the interest rates would continue to be lower as of now, at least for a few years from now. That means that 7.4%, the return which has been granted on this type of scheme by Government of India is particularly great. And if we, let us say, take an annual sort of annuity, it becomes around 7.66% for 10 years, maybe cumulative. And I think this is one of the schemes where most of the persons who have been on the above age of 60 years of age, they could maybe invest in such type of a scheme. However, having said that, there is a limit as to how much maximum amount you can invest. So maybe beyond that limit, if they still want to play safe, so there are some other plans, as I already mentioned, they can play in those stuff as well. But this is a good extension of scheme by the Government of India. And I think there will be annual reset going forward. So every year, 1st April of every financial year, it will be reset again. So this year it has been reset at 7.40, which is a good return as of now, keeping in with the interest rates continue to be lower.
Just to clarify, Dr. Chugh, though, this annuity of sorts that you're getting, that will be completely taxable, right?
So taxation, well, I need to check because I did not look in the domain of taxation. So I need to check, but
Okay.
I'm talking from the perspective of return as of now.
All right, okay. But compare it to, a fixed return that you're getting today in the market, a fixed deposit, or even a PPF for that matter. This one's giving, more than 7%. I suppose in this environment, it's quite a lucrative product on a relative basis. All right, let's do one thing. Let's take on board some viewer queries. Then we've got quite a few of them lined up, and very quickly let me try and sort of get them answered. Our first question is from Mr. Chiddu R. He says, I'm a 30-year-old man with a good risk appetite. I want to increase my corpus amount that I am building for my retirement. And he believes the valuations of many companies like HDFC Bank, TCS, etc. are so cheap. He is also investing in direct equity based mutual funds. So he's opted for the direct option. He also has cash in hand that he's willing to invest. Now he wants to know, should he make a lump sum investment in mutual funds or invest directly in the equity markets? Interesting question, Dr. Chugh, coming in also at quite an interesting time. Like he's rightly pointed out, valuations of some of the bluest of the blue chip companies, maybe not so much at TCS, but in HDFC, etc., are quite cheap. So do you think he should take a plunge into investing directly in the equity markets?
Okay, maybe I'll take this question on 5 broad angles. So first of all, he needs to understand that all stocks do not perform every time. So while HDFC Bank and TCS and Infosys, Maruti, etc., always have been the favorites amongst all the people. But let me put it this way, that all stocks, they do not perform, like all sectors do not perform at all times. Like pharma did not perform for the last 3 years and suddenly it has been jumping now. Auto sector has not been performing for the last 2 to 3 years. And so banking sector was performing, particularly if we talk about HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, ICICI Bank, but not the rest of the banking stocks as well. So first of all, he needs to understand that while he plans to get retired with direct equity investment, he should be able to churn those equities at the right time as well, and churn those equities within the different sectors also. Because many people have this misconception that over a longer period of time, I'm going to make money. No, this misconception was true for anyone who had invested before 2008. In 1992, if you see, the Sensex was around 5,000, and in 2004 it was 6,000. So that means only 20% return had come in 12 years. And after 2004, we saw a Sensex rising from 6,000 to 22,500. And that's why many people who had invested before that time, they believe that long term is always a good story. No, it has been normally showed by many brokers that over a long period of time you would have made money. But who had invested is the practical question. You need to check how many people did they invest before 2004. There will be few people. So after 2008, if we look at the actual return what the market has been giving, the Sensex has actually given only 4.5%. Keeping in view 22,500 Sensex in 2008 January, now it is hovering at around 31,000, so it becomes 4% annualized. However, it does not mean that all stocks have not given. Stocks have given. So that means you need to identify the right stocks at the right time. So when he says about HDFC Bank, TCS, the valuations, okay, I don't know. Maybe he needs to check whether he's looking at the fundamental valuations along with the technical chart movement as well. So he needs to churn, first of all, this is one important point. Second, while he also says that he would like to invest in direct mutual funds. So when he wants to invest into equities, then why go through mutual funds? He can in fact directly invest in equities as well, because when you park your money through mutual fund have got their own stocks which have been selected by, and you can only check the top 10 stocks, and for the remaining 90 or remaining 50 stocks or remaining 60 stocks, you need to check the whole corpus of that fund. So you are dependent upon the mutual fund on that stage. It is better that you are able to identify equities yourself and then maybe churn. So for which I always say, get educated yourself so that you can cross question your brokers, whether it is mutual fund or equity brokers, so that you are able to save your money in the right instrument rather than feeling sorry later on. Also, an important point is, since he's talking about his retirement, so maybe he needs to also have a portfolio parked into risk-free investment as well. So particularly risk-free can be, again, maybe resorting to some sort of government securities, RBI bonds, perpetual bonds, or even I would say maybe some of the product of LIC, like maybe a Jeevan Umang is one of the product of LIC which is doing good on particularly a person who is planning for a retirement after 15 years or 20 years down the line. So, and plus his last question was whether he should park his money lump sum. Well, no. lump sum is not the right criteria as of now in this type of a market. I would not say that he should put a SIP into a mutual fund. He can even put a SIP into equities as well. And for that matter, he can time his SIPs as he could time into mutual fund, but he could time his SIPs into equities as well, maybe doing every weekly. So if he has got 20,000 rupees per month, so maybe 5,000 every week, he can select those stocks which is already selected and which have fallen by, let us say, 5% or which have risen by 5%, so that he actually gets an average of those stocks rather than blindly putting a SIP into a mutual fund on every fixed date of every month, and you do not know whether the mutual fund is giving you average of a return or not. So that means it is more feasible for you to be investing through SIP into stocks directly and
True.
identify which stocks are you through.
True. All right. Okay. Well, we on ET Now are, of course, always there to guide you through that journey and that process as well. Dr. Chugh, thank you so much, for joining us today on the Money Show and helping out Chiddu and a lot of other viewers as well. It's certainly tough times because, retirees are essentially, or those people who are on the verge of retirement are looking at their portfolio values, and they've definitely come off quite a bit compared to what they were, let's say, 2 years ago. So I know it can, really throw you into a dilemma, but Dr. Chugh has given some great advice, and I hope it helps you out. Of course, do keep sending in your questions and queries as well on the Money Show at etnow.tv.